Middle school feels like a lifetime ago, a period where Lauren and I existed on the periphery of each other's lives without any significant connection. Fast forward to the age of 26, and our paths took an unexpected turn. Out of nowhere, I found myself reaching out to Lauren on Instagram, a platform that would become the catalyst for a series of events we could never have anticipated. Back in middle school, we were aware of each other's presence, but were never particularly close. The years passed, and our lives took different trajectories. However, fate had its own plans for us. It was during a seemingly mundane day that I decided to break the silence and send Lauren a message. To my surprise, she accepted my request, opening a digital gateway to rediscovery. Our connection, once dormant, reignited through the pixels of Instagram. As I delved into Lauren's profile, scrolling through each post, an unexpected curiosity and interest sparked within me. What was it about this moment that led me to reconnect with someone from my past? Lauren, too, must have sensed the curiosity, accepting the digital olive branch I had extended. With each exchanged message, the nostalgia of our middle school days began to fade, replaced by the burgeoning excitement of a new connection. As our daily texts and phone calls became more frequent, it became evident that there was something special between us. Shared passions for Harry Potter, Star Wars, and other geeky interests served as the foundation for our laughter-filled conversations. The mundane exchanges transformed into a delightful exploration of each other's personalities, revealing a deeper connection that we hadn't anticipated. The unexpected reconnection on Instagram had breathed life into a friendship that had long laid dormant. The virtual world paved the way for a genuine connection, transcending the limitations of our past interactions. The digital spark had ignited a flame, and as time passed, it became apparent that this was more than a mere rekindling of an old acquaintance. It was the beginning of a new chapter in both our lives. Lauren and I found ourselves immersed in laughter-filled conversations, the kind that effortlessly transition mundane moments into cherished memories. The digital world, which initially served as our meeting ground, became a gateway to discovering the layers of our personalities, unveiling the quirks and intricacies that made each of us unique. Our bond strengthened as we shared anecdotes from our lives, discussing the mundane and the profound with equal enthusiasm. The virtual barrier melted away, giving way to a connection that transcended the limitations of screens and keyboards. The shared joys of exploring fictional worlds, debating favorite characters, and reveling in the nostalgia of our shared interests served as the glue that bound us together. Amidst the laughter, a genuine understanding blossomed. We discovered common values, shared beliefs, and a dedication to our faith that added an extra layer of connection to our evolving relationship. The seemingly random reconnection on social media had unfolded into a narrative of shared passions and mutual appreciation. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the trajectory of our connection became increasingly clear. What had started as a casual rekindling of acquaintance had metamorphosed into a bond that held the promise of something deeper. The foundation was laid, not just on shared interests, but on an understanding that transcended the digital realm. With every exchanged text and shared phone call, the contours of our connection solidified. Friends turned confidants, and the prospect of something more lingered in the air. The laughter, the shared interests, and the growing intimacy created a mosaic of emotions that painted our friendship with hues of joy and anticipation. Little did we know that this blossoming connection would soon be tested by the trials of life. The narrative of our friendship to bond chapter was penned with shared laughter, but the looming shadows of challenges and unforeseen twists would cast their long shadows over the pages, steering our story toward uncharted territories. Despite the seemingly perfect progression of our relationship, concerns began to simmer beneath the surface, threatening the idyllic image we had constructed. I took the plunge and proposed to Lauren, believing that our shared interests, laughter, and growing connection were the solid foundation upon which we could build a future together. The engagement marked a celebration of our commitment, but even in the midst of joy, the first cracks in our seemingly flawless union began to surface. Lauren's father, protective of his daughter, harbored concerns about her marrying someone he barely knew. His skepticism, though rooted in genuine care, hinted at the complexities that lay beneath the surface of our relationship. The engagement party, intended to be a joyous occasion, took an unexpected turn when my mother arrived dressed in white, a symbol of disapproval that cast a shadow over the festivities. The strained relationship with my mother became glaringly apparent, and Lauren's concerns about this disrespectful act were dismissed, adding a layer of tension to our otherwise celebratory moment. Despite the mounting concerns, our commitment to each other seemed unshaken. The proposal marked a significant step forward, symbolizing our willingness to navigate the challenges together. However, the cracks in the facade were becoming more pronounced, and the road ahead, which had seemed so clear, began to twist and turn in unexpected ways. As the engagement unfolded, so did the complexities of our relationships with our families. The protective gaze of Lauren's father and the strained dynamics with my mother hinted at deeper issues that would play a crucial role in shaping the trajectory of our future. The celebratory atmosphere was tainted by the undercurrents of doubt and the realization that our journey was about to take an unforeseen detour. Little did we know that the proposal, while a testament to our commitment, would be just the beginning of a series of challenges that would test the very foundations of our relationship. The concerns that simmered beneath the surface were about to surface, threatening to alter the course of our story in ways we never could have predicted. Our journey took a geographical turn as Lauren and I embarked on a new chapter of our lives together in Raleigh, North Carolina. The backdrop of this southern city, with its charm and warmth, seemed to align seamlessly with our shared Christian values and the dreams we held for our future. As we settled into our new life, the initial glow of wedded bliss surrounded us. I excelled in my role at an in-home care company, garnering recognition and a sense of accomplishment. Lauren, equally industrious and determined, took on the challenge of working multiple jobs simultaneously to support the life we were building together. Our Christian values remained at the forefront of our endeavors, grounding us in a shared foundation that we believed would weather any storm. The commitment to our faith mirrored the dedication we felt to each other, creating a sense of unity that strengthened our bond. Despite the challenges of balancing multiple jobs and the demands of daily life, we found solace in the simple joys of Tuesday night game nights at Lauren's parents' house. These gatherings became a cherished tradition, providing a respite from the daily grind and an opportunity to reconnect with family. Our wedding, held in November 2016, was a joyous celebration infused with the essence of our nerdy interests, particularly our shared love for Star Wars. It was a day that reflected our unique personalities and the quirky, unconventional love that defined our relationship. However, as the pages of our marriage unfolded, so did the inevitable challenges that test the resilience of any union. Issues arose, and one notable concern was my discomfort with Lauren's close friendship with a male church friend. Rooted in trust issues stemming from my first marriage, these suspicions became a looming shadow that cast doubt over the seemingly perfect union we had envisioned. Despite the challenges, Lauren remained steadfast in her commitment to our marriage. The strains on our relationship, however, became more evident, prompting concerns about the future. The fractures in our seemingly flawless union were becoming visible, and the road ahead, though initially paved with dreams, now held uncertainties. As our marriage progressed, the initial glow began to fade, and the picture-perfect facade revealed the cracks that had started to form in the foundation of our relationship. The challenges we faced were not just external but internal, rooted in trust issues and insecurities that had taken residence in our union. One notable challenge stemmed from my discomfort with Lauren's close friendship with a male church friend. The trust issues that had lingered from my first marriage began to surface, casting a shadow over the once joyous union. Lauren, committed to our marriage, found herself grappling with my suspicions and the need to assure me of her loyalty. The revelations of past infidelity by my former spouse only served to intensify the trust issues I carried into our marriage. Despite Lauren's unwavering commitment and efforts to reassure me, the fractures in our relationship became more apparent, leaving us standing at a crossroads. Lauren's dedication to our marriage was unwavering, but my trust issues cast a shadow, revealing the vulnerability in our foundation. The strains on our relationship grew, and the challenges we faced raised profound concerns about the future of our seemingly perfect union. The cracks extended beyond trust issues, manifesting in a gradual shift in my demeanor. My once upbeat and content disposition gave way to a darker, more depressed state, signaling the heavy burden I carried. The impact of my first marriage weighed heavily on my soul, leaving me emotionally scared and struggling to reconcile with the scars of the past. During this time, my attitude toward our shared faith distanced, and I became increasingly disengaged from attending church services with Lauren. For her, faith was paramount, and my unwillingness to share this aspect of our lives felt like a profound betrayal. The disconnect in our spiritual journey added another layer of complexity to our already strained relationship. Lauren, ever committed, couldn't help but notice the disregard for what she cherished. It was as if my love and appreciation for the foundations of our marriage had faded, leaving a growing void in our relationship. Despite her longing for a deeper connection built on shared values and interests, I appeared disinterested and emotionally distant. As the strains on our relationship intensified, my signs of laziness and a pattern of finding and leaving jobs further irritated Lauren, who worked tirelessly to support us. Financial stability became a concern, exacerbated by my alarming spending habits that left her struggling to recover financially. Efforts from friends and family to pull me out of my depression seemed to fall on deaf ears. Instead of seeking help or engaging in meaningful activities, I immersed myself in playing video games for countless hours. This behavior strained our financial stability and further eroded the overall health of our relationship. Faced with the challenge of my unusual behavior, Lauren sought support by reaching out to her mother and sister. She opened up about working 4 jobs, returning home to a messy house, and feeling overwhelmed. My prioritization of video games and careless spending left Lauren feeling neglected, adding to the growing list of grievances. Despite the increasing distance and my peculiar behavior, Lauren remained committed to our marriage. Her unwavering dedication was evident in her decision to stay by my side, believing that our marriage was worth saving. Little did we know that the cracks in the foundation were widening, and the challenges we faced were mere foreshadowing of the storm that was about to engulf us. As the strains in our relationship deepened, a new and formidable challenge emerged: the weight of financial instability and the shadows of betrayal that would cast a long-lasting impact on our once seemingly perfect union. Lauren, ever industrious and determined, worked tirelessly, maintaining multiple jobs to support our life together. Meanwhile, I found myself caught in a pattern of finding a job, working briefly, and then abruptly quitting. This recurring issue added a layer of frustration for Lauren, who carried the financial burden on her shoulders, often feeling like she was single-handedly keeping our ship afloat. What distressed Lauren even more was my alarming spending habits. Financial responsibility seemed to elude me, leaving her grappling with the aftermath of impulsive purchases that strained our financial stability. The dream of a stable and secure future together began to unravel as our savings dwindled, and the specter of financial hardship loomed over our once optimistic horizon. Efforts from friends and family to intervene and pull me out of my depression seemed to fall on deaf ears. Instead of seeking help or addressing the issues head-on, I immersed myself in playing video games for hours on end. This not only strained our financial resources, but also exacerbated the emotional distance between us, further eroding the foundations of our once vibrant relationship. The challenge of my unusual behavior prompted Lauren to seek support from her mother and sister. She confided in them about the burden of working 4 jobs, returning home to a chaotic environment, and the overwhelming feeling of neglect. The realization that my prioritization of video games and careless spending had left her financially strained and emotionally neglected added to the growing list of grievances. Amidst this financial turmoil, Suspicions began to arise in Lauren's mind. She became concerned that I was stealing money from the Disney fund we had set aside for our future trip to Disney World. These concerns heightened when she discovered possible unauthorized withdrawals from her purse, revealing a breach of trust that cut deep into the core of our relationship. During this challenging time, Lauren frequently called her mother, expressing her suspicions about my financial actions. She confided in her, mentioning that she only had enough money to cover bills for 1 month. The revelation left Lauren anxious and afraid, recognizing a significant financial challenge that threatened the stability of our marriage. Less than a year after starting our life together, Lauren and I, initially optimistic with $10,000 in savings, found ourselves facing the harsh reality of financial instability. The excessive spending by me had significantly depleted our savings, leaving us grappling with the consequences of unchecked financial irresponsibility. The financial struggles intertwined with the emotional strains of our relationship, creating a toxic cocktail that fueled resentment and frustration. Little did we know that these challenges were only the precursor to the more profound betrayals that would unfold, pushing our relationship to the brink of collapse. Around their 4-month wedding anniversary, the distance between us became palpable. I withdrew from our shared Tuesday night game nights at Lauren's family house, raising concerns and inflicting emotional pain on Lauren and her family. The signs of a crumbling relationship were evident, and Lauren recognized the need for a change, a desperate attempt to salvage what remained of our once promising union. In a desperate effort to reconnect, I proposed a road trip to Bowling Green, Kentucky. Lauren, concerned about our drifting marriage, agreed to the journey, hoping that a change of scenery would breathe new life into our faltering relationship. Upon arriving in Bowling Green, we were met with an unexpected surprise as we decided to join a trip with my mother, her husband, and his parents. However, what was intended as a family outing quickly turned into a distressing ordeal. The strained relationship between Lauren and my mother became even more apparent when, during a family photo shoot, everyone, except Lauren and me, wore white instead of blue as planned. In the face of this unexpected turn of events, Lauren's excitement turned to confusion and disappointment. Despite following instructions and buying blue outfits accordingly, my mother's refusal to acknowledge the mistake escalated the situation. The family photo shoot was abruptly canceled, leaving Lauren frustrated and attempting to explain herself in the midst of the chaos. The return from Bowling Green marked the further deterioration of our relationship. I spent increasing time alone, writing in my journals, displaying even more peculiar behavior that deepened Lauren's worry. The suspicions in her mind heightened when she believed that I was stealing money from the Disney fund set aside for our future trip. In the early hours of September 1st, 2017, a 911 call came into a dispatcher, and on the other line was me. Trembling with fear and panic, I confessed, "I think I killed my wife. I had a dream, and then I turned on the lights and she's dead on the floor. I have blood all over me, and there's a bloody knife on the bed, and I think I did it. She's not moving. Oh my God, I'm so scared. She didn't deserve this." The Raleigh Police Department arrived promptly at the scene of our home. Inside the house, they discovered a horrifying scene in the master bedroom. Lauren lay lifeless on the bedroom floor, in the fetal position, with blood splattered all over the carpet, walls, comforter, and bed. The gruesome sight painted a haunting picture of a once vibrant love, now shattered by an unimaginable tragedy. Crime scene investigators meticulously combed through every corner of the house, documenting the evidence that would tell the story of the fateful night. Lauren's autopsy report revealed the brutality of the attack. She was asleep on her side when I entered the room and stabbed her. After the initial stab, I proceeded to roll her over and inflicted multiple stab wounds on her face. The autopsy findings depicted a horrifying struggle, with Lauren fighting desperately to save her own life, sustaining a staggering 123 stab wounds. In the aftermath of this unspeakable tragedy, the toxicology report for me came in, revealing a small amount of cold medication in my system. However, it was not at the toxic level that would have caused hallucinations. This discovery contradicted the initial narrative of my actions being influenced by substances, reinforcing the cold and calculated nature of the crime. On October 5, 2018, I pleaded guilty to the first-degree murder of Lauren. I was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. During the sentencing hearing, I addressed Lauren's family, expressing remorse and regret for the heinous crime I had committed. I acknowledged the overwhelming feelings of guilt and shame, referring to myself as a monster. I emphasized that my actions were senseless and mindless, lacking any rational justification. Lauren's mother, a grieving witness to the devastation caused by my actions, told the court, "Lauren was beautiful inside and out. The actions of Matthew James Phelps have forever changed me." The tragic end of our once promising love story left a community in shock and a family grappling with the incomprehensible loss of a beloved daughter and sister. The pages of our shared narrative concluded in tragedy, a somber reminder of the fragility of love when faced with the darkest corners of the human psyche.